All right, so I'm here today with Keran Pawar from ASM Sports Management, and he's got a very interesting topic he wants to talk to us about today. It's pertaining our South African man, Chris van Heerden. Exciting developments happening on his side. Keran, very nice for you to be here with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, Heerden.
Yeah, so we had a little chat last night. So we actually learned a little bit about each other, and got to chatting. And you had this idea that's coming out now, and it's obviously a whole brand new concept. The NFT is sort of blowing up all over the world, and you've got some news about Chris van Heerden with regards to that. And I was trying to find out more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Yeah, we're very excited. Obviously, this is an opportunity for Chris. He's really focused on this fight. It's something basically his dream has come true. A lot of South Africa and yourself, the fans know what he's been through. So it really is a great opportunity for him. We're just excited to get going. So ASM Sports Group, I'll just give you a quick rundown. Been established for 5 years. Our co-founder is the South African legend, Ernie Els. He's the co-founder along with my business partner and CEO, Chris Vidal. And the main revenue stream had been providing, and it still is providing scholarships to international athletes all over the world. So we've literally got, you can pinpoint places in the world, even names of countries that I haven't even heard of, to get them scholarships in the United States. So we're based out in Miami, Florida. And that's been the main revenue stream. So I've been brought on to develop the company's 2 new verticals, ASM Elite and ASM Media, and also ASM NIL. So during the process, we've obviously signed Chris van Heerden. Obviously, proud, achieving moment to have such a great athlete, great boxer. We're very well known in South Africa. And through the process, we've built out this vertical. And Chris Vidal, my CEO, we owe the props to him. He created this NFT site through OpenSea, which is like a marketplace. So if you want me, I can go through the background of the NFTs, but they're basically the open space is kind of like, if you think of it like the stock market, where you can create your NFT, which is like a digital image. And then you put it on there, and then you would have it, trade literally back and forth, and users and sellers all over the world can purchase the NFT. So you would take a document, whether it's your photo or a concept that you've designed. A lot of artists use it, and it creates this digital code through the blockchain. So it has its unique own code that can't be replicated through the blockchain. And then once that image is produced, it can be reproduced with the same code with like a different number. So it can't be, forged. It can't be, taken advantage of. It's always going to have that original blockchain. And we created this for Chris, and we're launching it, and want obviously his fans in South Africa and all over the world to be a part of it. And these are the exclusive NFTs for his fight today, and there'll be obviously exclusive limited edition ones available as well.
When do these NFTs officially launch? Is it like available on the market right now? Is it going to be available in the future?
Yep, absolutely. It went live yesterday, I believe around 8 p.m. No, actually before that, it was around 5 p.m. Eastern time, Miami in USA. So the site is live. I can definitely share the link with you. And you can go on there and view through all the creations there. I don't know if they're able to share the screen or if they see it visually. Some of your fans, I could show you some of the page and some of it. I can
also, just drop it in the description as well of the video, so that it can be a clickable link for you guys to just basically
let me throw that over, because it's really great. So like I said, Chris Vidal, like my CEO, he basically put all this together. And we worked collaboratively from him in Miami and myself here in London, just going back and forth. And obviously, because of the time change in the hours, like, yeah, do this, do that. It's quite a complicated process to get it going. And I'd love to talk to your fans, and obviously any South Africans, sporting fans and Chris's fans who want to go ahead and get involved with it. And it's to talk them through the process, because it can be a little complicated, but once you get it set up, then it's like, it's ready to go. So it's a really interesting platform for someone to invest in, and also, to be able to attain revenues.
So, I mean, in particular, why Chris Van Heerden? Like, what's the buzz? Can you just give us some background into why you guys actually signed him? Not even NFT, but like what got you into taking up him as a client?
You know, to be absolutely 100% honest, because I'm a very candid person. I was really taken aback by him, his mindset, his energy as a person. I'm very much, when we work with clients, I'm very straightforward, whether it's a partner or a client. There's no kind of like, you know, smoke and mirror. It's just very clear. And I tell people exactly how it is. And Chris liked that about me. You know, I'm a type of sports agent that doesn't, or even with my team themselves, I don't do pipelines. I don't do like, oh, this is what might be coming in. This is this. It's like, when this podcast happens and we're doing it, that's when I tell people about it. And I do that with everyone. And Chris liked that about me. But for him himself, I mean, you know, his energy is amazing. I mean, you know, his background and what he's been through, and, you know, the stuff with TMZ and Conor McGregor. And then obviously, you know, the unfortunate tragedy of his father, you know, being brutally murdered. You know, it haunts him. But, you know, the way he's managed to turn his life around is an inspiration, I think, for any person, any athlete, and obviously any youth, child or person, especially anywhere in the world, but especially in South Africa. To have that, someone like that, knowing that he's come from where he's come from, walked in his shoes, as he said during an interview. He has, I think it's a great quote where he said about Conor Benn, he's like, he hasn't walked the path I've walked. And I just think that resonates, you know, especially with people in South Africa, especially upcoming aspiring athletes, you know. And that was pretty much what really got me about him, is just sign someone like that. We love authenticity at ASM. We're all about, you know, reality and what can actually be produced, not the buzz and the pizzazz and, you know, something that's short term. We definitely look at the longevity of something. It's not just about today, you know, in this hour. It's about establishing something for the long term, and that's what Chris wants. So it fits right in with our vision and our philosophy.
Yeah, because obviously, I mean, looking at the fights itself between him and Conor Benn, I mean, Conor Benn is like the betting favorite for the fight. Let's put it that way. He's the world guy. His own's pushing him, his name. But Chris is kind of like coming in as the underdog, but again, not someone that's to be taken lightly, because he's not a stepping stone. You know, Chris is a big guy. You saw him at the weigh-in at the scales. Like, he's bigger than Conor Benn. He's a southpaw. He's very dangerous.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Conor Benn's a favorite. He's explosive. He's you know, he's brutish. He's the fighter. You know, he's like his father. He's got that buzz around him. He's got Mac through him and Dazin and, you know, Eddie Hearn's behind them. Well, yeah, we get it. You know, he's a sensationalist. But yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, Ennis was the only one to, you know, literally stop Chris. And obviously it was a few years ago. Perhaps he's definitely learned from that. You know, whoever saw that fight, you know, he was a little overly confident and, you know, dancing around, made a couple of mistakes. But yeah, as far as his record, he's got, you know, 12 more fights on him. And the pressure's really not on Chris, if you think about it. That's a huge momentum. That's a huge thing not to have. The pressure's on Conor Benn. You know, he's here in front of his crowd. He has to live up to his father's expectations. It's almost like Creed, right? The movie where he's like, I've got to live up to it. Has Conor Benn proved it in the last few fights? I mean, a lot of people saying, oh, they're cherry picked this, that. No, I mean, you've got to respect the boxing world, and we all know how it works. But end of the day, you still got to get into that ring and fight someone. You know, so I'm not of that. I see a lot of people typing it like, oh, cherry picked fights and this, that. And I'm like, you know what? How about you jump in his shoes and try to do what these guys do in front of all these fans and the TV and the training and the regiment they have to go through, and see if that's cherry picked when they get up there. It's like, let's see what you could do. Like, they're a whole nother animal, you know. People just don't understand that in reality. So, but yeah, Chris is dangerous. He is a southpaw. He's strong. The fight against Ennis, I believe he got it very short notice, so he didn't have enough time to train. And you know, I can't tell you too much, but I've seen a couple of warm-up sessions, and yeah, I would definitely say dangerous is a very good word to use.
All right, so from a management point of view, on the day, obviously it's fight day today as we're doing the interview. What does your day look like? I mean, it must be like I mean, you must be stressing a little bit. I don't know if Chris is obviously getting in fight mode. He's the guy that's going to get hits in the face, and he's going to be delivering the punches as well to Conor Benn. But like, from your point of view, you're going to be sitting like, I'm assuming ringside, having a watch in and having a look in. Like, run us through your day today.
Yeah, we'll be ringside. Today is for Chris, obviously, you know, I mean, it's so interesting for me as a journey. You know, you get to work with so many different athletes. And Chris is actually our first boxer. So to me, it's been such a great experience to be able to see how it works. Like yesterday, we were like, oh, you know, it's like, I want pasta, you know, I want pasta, I'm hungry, because, you know, he's been, you know, cutting the way, and he's like, I'm gonna go get pasta, I'm hungry. And we're like, yeah, he's grumpy. And then, you know, changed his mind. I had arranged a table at Gusso's here. So thank you, Gusso's, if you guys are listening. They were very hospitable and gave us a private room. And it was all set up for a group of 10. And then he texts back, he's like, you know what, I'm going to sit here in the room. We're like, 100%, we completely understand, you know, because he's just kind of in that zone where he just needs to collect himself and get into his thoughts. So I love that. And then from an agent point of view, for us, you know, it's, for me, it doesn't stop, it's consistent. Whether it's Chris or all of our clients, we're consistently moving. So today, obviously, an interview with you, perhaps some interviews lined up later with some stations. I've got BBC. I believe they spoke with Eddie Hearn yesterday, so we're trying to lock them down, and then just consistently producing content of what we're doing to try to, you know, obviously get hold of his fans, get people going, and then get to the stadium and obviously talk to fans and brands and companies there. But yeah, for the agent's life, it's definitely, for myself anyway, compared to a lot more, it's not as glamorized. Most people think it takes hard work, dedication. You have to be diligent, and my hashtag I always post, if some of you guys follow me, is don't chase the day, make the day chase you. And that's pretty much how I live, because there's just not enough hours in the day to keep up with what I need to do, because I do so much. So that's pretty much the sports agent life for me at ASM.
Well, as a sport agent, two guys to look out for at the event tonight, right? From an SA Boxing point of view, there's going to be an SA Boxing talk. A journalist there, Roy, he's going to be there. South African guy based in the UK, and Adi Oladipo as well from DAZN. He's co-partner with Tony Bellew there. Two guys that I'm very good friends with. So if you could give them a shout out as well, say, you know, how's it? It'll be great.
Absolutely. What was the second gentleman's name? Sorry, Eddie.
It's Adi Oladipo. He's like a presenter at DAZN.
Oh, okay. At DAZN, right? Yeah, Oladipo. I keep thinking of Victor, the guy that plays for Miami Heat, because we have a partnership. We have a partner. We do a brand partnership with Miami Heat, and actually David Beckham's into Miami as well, along with Leeds United. So we've got some diversity within our group, where we work with an array of different type of platforms and verticals. So I just think of Oli Oladipo, and I'm like, oh wait, from Miami Heat, Adi Oladipo. And what was the chap from your boxing channel? I forgot.
Roy Coughlin.
Great, so they'll be doing stuff.
He'll be there tonight at the press conference as well. So maybe from a South African point of view, maybe you can have a chat with Chris after the fight as well. Get his thoughts.
Love to. That. Yeah, I'd love to. I know with Chris himself, obviously it's going to be difficult because it depends on which way it goes and what happens. And obviously, the goal is to obviously we want him to win, but I think myself, I've got the belief in myself and what I've seen of him, and like I said, what we've discussed here. I think it could be a really interesting night. It's going to be a great fight, regardless, and we'll just see how the evening plays out. I think if he can get through, the first 3 rounds, and stick to his game plan, things could swing in his favor easily, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of South Africans definitely have placed their bets on Chris Van Heerden, believing in his process, believing in his ability. So we'll see how it all pans out at the end of the day. It's a big fight, when it comes to main events and big titles and big events, that there unfortunately always has to be one person that doesn't get their hand raised. And we'll see tonight whether it's Conor Benn. We'll see tonight whether it's Chris Van Heerden. It's going to be interesting like that. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I just wanted to finish off going back to the beginning of our topic again, with the NFT, just to not to lose focus on that, because obviously there is a lot to talk about when it comes to boxing. Chris Van Heerden, it's a big interest in this fight. But the NFT last year again, is it what is the price that it's starting at? Do you know that sort of information?
Yeah, so we have an array of cards available. And I believe the first batch, which are obviously the most available at bulk, I believe start at around $30. And then obviously they go up to the exclusive collection. So I'm just going to flip you the link right now. Let me just open it up, and I can actually get a great, I mean,
and I just pop it in the description there as well. That'll be great.
The chat right there. Let me see. Did it go in? Let's see if it worked on that chat. Oh, type message there. There we go. There we go. In the chat.
Yep, there we go. Got it.
Perfect.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, Chris. I'm working with Chris, and my CEO is Chris Vidal, CV, and then we've got Chris Van Heerden, which is CVH. So now I literally, when I speak to people, I have to say CVH and C Vidal. That's how I have to separate it in the office. I was like, wait, which Chris are you talking about? And I'm like, CVH. And I was like, no, Vidal. So Vidal, the CEO, you know, he created this page. It's amazing. And if you get to see the images on there, I don't know if the fans or the viewers and listeners can click on that link, or if you're looking at it, really interesting. So these pictures, obviously, Chris had recommended these. These are the ones I actually pulled out after looking at his socials and his engagement rates and the metrics through social media. You know, a lot of people are a little convoluted about that, but there actually is, you know, a standard kind of metric system to go through. And I have my process as well, how to really distinguish, you know, who's doing what and what the content is and how relevant it is. So we pulled these pictures out, and then obviously Chris Vidal and our team, our design team, designed these, and they're really interesting. I mean, the blue one is my favorite. I think it's just great. It really kind of encapsulates.
I'm going to open the link straight after we're done here, and I'm going to have a look at some of the options as well, because this will be the first time I'm looking at it, so that's great as well.
Yeah, there's the one where it's basically got it's the color. He's got his fists up, and it says South Africa. The Heat, Chris Van Heerden, and it's got his signature on the ground. I love this picture. It's one of my favorites. It really is. You can see his eyes, and that, to me, that really encapsulates like what I've seen from Chris. Just his focus, his vision, what he thinks about. You know, talking to him, I've had many conversations prior. You know, he's called me after training sessions in LA, and
that's the one you shared on your story.
Yeah, that's definitely 100% my favorite. So I believe, let me see that one. I believe it's selling.
I've opened the link now. I'm having a look at it. There's 9 items here.
Yep, 9 items. So 2,500 of those available. And then there's obviously going to be an exclusive. There are exclusive fight edition ones. That are obviously a lot more premium, higher priced, and like you were saying with NFTs, and those are the ones that usually have the most maximum monetary benefit. The most interesting part about the NFTs, obviously, anyone who purchases these, just to go back to the coding part, because you know it's still the industry is still very new, even though it's been around for 3 years. There's still a lot of people trying to get involved with crypto and NFTs and really understand it. I was having dinner with Vince Curry, obviously Chris Van Heerden's best friend. Hello, Vince. Great chap. We went out to a lovely dinner the other night with some, very successful, entrepreneurs here in Manchester. And they're asking me, they're like, all right, so give me the gist. Like, what's going on with NFTs? What do I do? Should I go dump some money into it or whatever? So I had to explain it to them. And yeah, I mean, look, it is the future. And a lot of people are very kind of hesitant to move towards anything that's progressive, but it's an industry that is just going to be there. It's not going anywhere, right? We all think about 10 years ago, and we were thinking about smartphones and Ubers and Lyfts and etc. And it's like, look, it's just going there. It's not gonna take. I was speaking to an NFT investment company actually on the airplane because the Crypto.com conference was in Miami the day before I left. And he made a really interesting point, and he said that it's not taking a market share away from traditional traders. So if you look at the NASDAQ and you look at the traditional trading platforms and the companies and Morgan Stanley, etc., it's not taking anything away from them. It's just another avenue. It's another revenue stream, should we say, or another outlet, another market, another economy. And to me, I see that, look, this is the future. It's going to be there. It's not going anywhere. So it's just another avenue for entrepreneurs, any person who wants to invest, anyone who's invested in technology or is interested and wants to diversify their portfolio or investments, it's just another avenue for you. You don't have to go in, thinking, oh, I've got to put in so much capital to do this and do that. If you're able to work anything when it comes to monetization with your investments, it depends what your end goal is. If you're going to be completely unrealistic and you think, I'm going to put this down, I'm going to make R1 million and do this and that, it's like, well, then, pop down to the shop and go get yourself a lottery ticket. It's the same amount of odds. But if you're willing to, invest in something and focus on it, and you're looking at gradual growth, yeah, of course, it's going to be something that's there. The market's there. It's going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry within 10 years. It's already in the billions, but it's going to be at that level very soon.
Let's see how it goes. Obviously, Chris Van Heerden's one's just launched, so we're going to see the sort of potential growth of those NFT cards, images, what have you. And looking forward to it, because it's obviously it's new. Not a lot of people know about NFTs, and it's like but as you said, they're a bit like scared and they're asking a lot of questions. As am I. That's why I'm also doing the interview as well. I want to have like a lot of questions about NFTs. But I've just opened up the page now, the link. And, I've had a look, and there was that image that you told me about. There are 9 items there as well. So people have options. They don't just have like 1 or 2, they have 9. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And So,
the different levels are there. So, it's something for everybody. And then, an interesting point is that once you purchase one, because you have that unique code, that you're anyone who purchases the NFTs, and this is not just for Chris, this is for everything that's on the platforms. The way to monetize off it is that you have the royalty, so you would get a percentage of the royalties every time it's either used or purchased, and that obviously drives the price of your NFT higher. So obviously, the higher it goes, the higher your loyalties will be. And the interesting thing about like I said, NFTs and the crypto world is that it's not standardized through the banks. So there's no kind of like centralized system, but it's like, oh, you've got to have this to get it approved. It's quite open. That's the fear, what people worry about. However, it's very secure, security wise. You would have to set up a wallet, which is a digital wallet. So there's almost like a barrier between you and your capital, right? It's almost like a security barrier. And that's where you would purchase the NFT through your wallet, which you obviously connect through your various financial accounts that you choose to do, and then you would put it in, you upload your finances to the wallet, and then that's where the revenue or the income would come from the NFT, and that's where you would purchase it. So it's almost like they said, like a blockchain. So it's like, that's literally what it is. It's almost like a little path to get to you, and that's for security reason. But I mean, it's to be able to be involved with it, and you generating that for yourself, and it's something that you control, and it's decentralized. So there's no like someone, like you think of a bank or someone, oh, well, I'm going to take this fee or that. It's like, it's there, and the platform has, OpenSea has their set percentage. But then there's no one else to really pay or go through that can like, as far as, let's say, if we like fraud or a bank transfer, or someone, getting you information, due to the blockchain and the technology, it's so secure that, they're unable to do that. So it keeps it quite safe in the end.
All right, well, that's a perfect description right there. So obviously a little bit of security as well. Everyone's got the questions, and that's you answering all the questions and that's. And again, I'd like to thank you for coming on today. I want to get this all out to the people there with the links, and let's just see how it performs. Curious as well for mine to see like how well these NFTs do on Chris's side. And I mean, I think that explains it. I think a lot of people will have a better understanding of what it is now, peace of mind in terms of purchasing. And thank you for coming on the show again. Appreciate it. As I said, we had our chat last night as well, and we discussed that we're going to have a meeting today. So it was nice to obviously do this, and let's get it out there.
Yeah, thanks for taking us on like such short notice. Really appreciate that, and all the listeners and yourself. We have a very open door policy. ASM, anyone's free to reach out. Regarding this, sports agenting, any athletes. Like I said, we've been providing a scholarship service to we have about over 1,500 athletes that we represented now. And if you go on our Instagram page, you'll see a lot of them are from South Africa. I feel like we're flying like the South African flag here in the States for sports, because obviously because of Mr. Ernie Els, and then one of our brand ambassadors is Brian Havana, and then obviously I have Chris Van Heerden, I signed him, and then we also work with Sean Masingwai, who's the upcoming athlete, track runner from South Africa. He was in the Olympics for you guys and performed for you. He's in the top 10. I think he's the 14th fastest 200-meter runner in the world. He's South African, so yeah, we're literally like we used to put a South African flag on our agency, like, hey, here we are. So for any athletes, aspiring ones from South Africa, any sports fans, we're happy to talk to you and have you be involved with ASM 100%.
Well, thank you again for flying our flag, and yeah, man, we can't wait. Maybe you're gonna get some calls very soon. You're already busy. I know you're already a busy man, but you might get a couple more calls after this interview. Absolutely. Thanks, Heerden. Really appreciate you guys. It's an absolute pleasure, man. Good to have you on, and we'll hear from you again in the future. Hopefully, not too long from now. 100%. He should be in the. We're planning on having a trip to come out for Chris to come home, so we can do an in-person. We'd love to have you sit with him, and have the fans of South Africa and everyone there get to see Chris in person.